Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know that I see a few people who have already commented and liked the live stream so far. I want to say what's up to everybody who's watching the live stream right now, and also everybody who's watching the replay. I really do appreciate it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Today we're gonna be discussing and going through a website development late night work session. So I used to do late night work sessions about 2 years ago, and I used to do them almost every single day when I was really trying to get the channel first started. I was working on my website, and now I need to make a lot of different changes to my website in order to keep up with some things I want to do. So I'm actually going to update my website. I'm going to show you guys some of the challenges and frustrations that I go through, so that way you don't have to go through them when you're trying to work on a website. And yeah, so we can just go from there. I'm going to play some music. It is a late night. Right now it is 12:37 a.m. over here in Atlanta, Georgia. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just work. So let me see. Oh, I got. Let me do this. I'm gonna pop out the chat right quick. Pop out the chat so that way I can highlight you guys. Let's see. Paste. There we go. All right. So shout out to Excel Pro. Appreciate you. You have won the #1 spot. Coming for that #1 spot. All right, man. Appreciate you, Excel Pro. Let's see. We also have Jig says, "Would you ever leave tech?" Yeah, if I had enough money. Right? If I had enough money to, well, I mean, obviously we're all gonna leave tech eventually. When I retire, then yes, I will definitely leave tech. Right? But I've invested. I've invested a lot of time, money into tech. It's what I'll enjoy doing. I've been successful at it. I have a career in it already. And the only thing that's stopping me right now is just the time. Right? Like, I got laid off, and I was like, man, what am I going to do to get my income back? And I think I found a way to increase my income while I am in transition from one job to the other. So I already know I'm able to handle a lot of complex situations and solve a lot of big problems. And me getting laid off is a big problem I'm solving right now. And, if it was easier to get a job, then I wouldn't be making all these videos, because I'm trying to spread light to the fact that it's actually very difficult, even for somebody with experience, to actually land a job. So when people say, hey, it's so easy to get into tech, they leave out all that context of with a degree, experience, a network, all those different things. You can get referrals for jobs. I've gotten several different referrals for jobs and still didn't get the job, or the job went on hold, or I never heard back. So those are a lot of the things that has happened since I have been laid off. And doesn't mean I need to quit. It just means, I need to keep on moving forward. And then Jig says it means switch careers. I would, like, when you say switch careers, I would definitely do something similar to it, because if you say, hey, you're in tech, Well, I don't necessarily need to be a coder, but I could definitely do cybersecurity, right? That's still tech, but it's not necessarily the same thing. It's a different career path. So I could do project management or product management. They make a lot of money. And product or project management is not necessarily tech, but it can be, right? So, but you won't see me like doing healthcare or something like that, or being a truck driver. I wouldn't necessarily switch to those types of things. That'd be kind of like a completely different skill set. All right, and probably would take many years of study and practice in order to be able to make that transition. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. So you should be able to see me at the bottom right corner, and it's just my website here. I gotta change a lot of things about my website. Quite a bit of things. So first things first, what I'm planning on doing. So I have this picture of myself, and I'm gonna keep the picture, but I want to change the call to action to not just be subscribed to my YouTube channel. It'll be more so book a consultation or something like that. And then I can probably change this up too. Let's see, I only have 3 pages. It's kind of slow. It doesn't look the same as it used to. Actually, I think I need to change something. My website looks like it is not working right. Good thing I went here. Yeah, my website is different. Let me go back. It's not supposed to look like that. Very curious to me. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Let me play some music. We can get started like that. Let's see. So I'll play some music right quick. Get everything real chill. Let's see, where is this? Okay, I think this should be straight. Okay, I think that's Wally. What's up, Wally? Prosperity Insight Hub. Appreciate you for tuning in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign in right quick to my website. After I sign in, then we can keep going. Okay. This is the back end. Salute, Marcus. Hope you've been doing well, bro. Alright, so I got a picture of me right here. I'm gonna keep that, but then I want to change this. Right. Book a consultation and start building your success today, your success story today. And then I'm gonna have to set up a consultation page. All right. So I just created a new page. Honestly, I should have done this. So it's a consultation page. Interesting. What's up, man, Drill? Hope you're doing well, bro. Looks like it's Before the Billions on a late night. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do these all the time, man. I stopped doing them because it was kind of hard to keep up with doing work in the day. But yeah, I used to do late night live streams for a pretty long time. Okay, so I'm trying to make things easier for myself and use the starter template, but I guess I got to do it all by myself. Let me see if I can connect Calendly. I wonder, did they have a Calendly link already with Elementor. If not, then I had to embed it. Hey, on stereo, I am working on my website. Working on the Before the Billions website. But it looks like they do not have an integration with Calendly. So let me go ahead and look it up. Calendly. Alright, so I have two different types of consultations that people can book with me with. A complimentary one-on-one consultation and a 1 hour consultation. Complimentary meaning, and see, this is something I learned as far as a business strategy. A business strategy, when you can't use the word free, you have to use the word consultation, because people think when you use the word free that it has no value. Like, okay, why would I want to do that? So if you do complimentary, people think, oh, okay, you're giving me like a discount or you're donating this time to me, which has led to me getting more consultations this way. And then after we do the initial consultation for 30 minutes, then I set up a 1 hour long consultation, and that's what they pay. All right, so let's see. Let's see how Calendly in itself integrates with WordPress. So if I say, what would it be? That would be okay, there it goes. Embed Calendly into WordPress. Okay, cool. Okay, they have the WordPress.org versus WordPress.com. And like, if you want to actually get your website hosted on WordPress, you go to, I think you go to WordPress.org. Otherwise, you go to WordPress.com. And then also, if you want to just install WordPress onto your hosting service, which you can have any kind of hosting service. Your hosting service can be what I use, which is HostGator. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my link, if anybody is curious about HostGator. I have my link. Give me 1 second. Let me find it again and put it in the chat. If anybody's curious about HostGator, I am a HostGator affiliate. Let's see. Da-da-da. All right, so I can post it right here. That way everybody can see it. All right, so if you use that link right there, then you can get 70% off of your hosting through HostGator. I'm gonna tell you, I've been using HostGator since 2021. So it's been 3 years. I can't believe it. It's been 3 years I've been using HostGator, and I have no complaints. Right, I enjoy it, and it's a really great service. I mean, 70% off. I think you can get it even cheaper than GoDaddy. GoDaddy is like $14 a month, and HostGator is around $12. So you get to save $2, right, off of hosting, but it really does add up. And then if you get their deal, I got a plan that was for 3 years. So when I first started with HostGator, I got the 3-year plan, and that 3-year plan cost me around $60. So $60 for the hosting, and then also I got my domain name with them as well, which was, I want to say like 20 or something like that. It wasn't that expensive at all. So it really is not that expensive. It's around like $100 for me to host my website. All right. JM says, why aren't you coding your own website instead of using those platforms? Don't you know JavaScript, sir? Man, that would take forever. I'll be honest with you, man. It's like for stuff like that, it takes so long to be able to create a website in just pure vanilla JavaScript. You can do it, right? But I think it's more efficient for a business to have a website builder like a WordPress, which is the most used service for most websites. When I used to work on the Home Depot's website, that was hosted in WordPress. When I worked on Ronstadt USA's website, that was also hosted in WordPress. So for businesses, it makes total sense for you to use a website builder, because using JavaScript for like your own personal project just to say, hey, I know JavaScript, that's cool for if you want to be able to build your own project, right? Like, hey, I just want to build a project. I just want to show off that I know how to use it. But if you use a website builder like this, not only do you get your website up a lot more fast or more quickly, but then also it handles a lot of things for you, such as security. It handles, there's so many different plugins that you can use as a part of the marketplace. So you have a plugin for security, you have a plugin for a backup, you have access to grant people privileges or roles to work on your website. It integrates really nicely with hosting services. Like, if you really want to just make a pure project website, then what you could do is go to GitHub, and this is free. And actually, I think I could just navigate to it like this. This is what I used way back in the past, called GitHub Pages. Now, GitHub Pages is, and I'll put it into the chat too. They give you free hosting, so you don't have to pay for this. You just create a GitHub repository. You can use your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but the only thing is that it's a static website. Right now, this is the free way of doing it. If you wanted to get more advanced, you can spin up AWS and GCP and Azure if you want to. It just seems like it's going to be a lot more work for no exact benefit. You can kind of tell an employer that you know how to use these things, but guaranteed if you had a job using these things, you already have experience. But yeah, let's see. On Serial says you can use a framework like React and Tailwind for CSS. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a front-end developer, to be honest with you. I'm a data engineer. So I'm kind of like, I know how to like be resourceful enough to figure it out. But it's kind of like wastes a lot of time. Right? Like, let's say you need to get a website up in whatchamacallit. You need to get a website up in like 2 days or something like that. And it needs to have like several different pages. Like, you could sit up there and code all that within 2 days. Or like, let's just say like a week or two. You could code that up in like a week or two. But you could also just get it done a lot faster using a website builder like this. So then JM says, no offense, but if you can't even code your own website, then you have no business in working in Google, Amazon, etc. respectively. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different jobs you can do at those companies. There's cybersecurity people who don't code. You have people who work on the back end. All right, like, you know, there's a whole bunch of different avenues you can go through. You know, I think like if your whole goal is to get into Google or Amazon or Microsoft, I think the best way of doing it is by building up your network. Right? I think that's the best way to get in. You don't necessarily need to be a genius to get into those places or have some really impressive project. I think that if you continue to get to know people, you'll start to get more opportunities for those types of roles. Matter of fact, I have made a whole series of me interviewing for Meta. And the thing about interviewing is that if you interview for a position, that means that they saw your resume, they sent it in to the team or the hiring manager, and they believe that you can do the job. So the fact that both Google, Amazon, and Meta have all interviewed me means that they thought I could do the job. I may not have gotten the job, but it at least shows that, hey, you know, you appear to be somebody who can do the job. But yeah, that was you know, just more so my experience with it, man. You know, this is like and then another thing I had to point out too is that, yeah, you can technically build a website, but then, you know, anybody who knows developers do not have a good design skill. That's another issue that comes up when you think about like building a website. Like, you can build a website, but if you don't have somebody to design it for you, like, it takes a lot of time to learn design, right? That's why you have UI, UX designers. You have them specifically trying to increase the amount of people who want to stay on the website because of how attractive it is and how easy or convenient it is to use. Yeah, man, you just kind of, you know, you don't want to spend too much time on this kind of stuff. Especially if you have clients. Oh my God. I have clients, man. Matter of fact, I'll tell you guys what I did earlier today. And no problem on Serial. Thank you for commenting. I tell you guys, I had a migration to do earlier today. And oh my God, it took forever. It took forever to be able to do this migration. It was like they had everything in separate places. So like they had hosting with one company, they had the domain name with another company, and then they wanted to switch over to HostGator. And I'm like, okay, cool, I can help you to get onto HostGator. And let me tell you, there were so many access issues, and I was like, okay. But the good thing is that they at least have some protections in place for you to not get your website stolen. But yeah, man. Says JM, let me see. JM says, don't rush the process. Always saying it, but take a lot of time. That's not the right answer, nor the right attitude, respectfully. Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean, JM. I completely understand your point. But I'm just more so saying, like, if you have a business owner, like, let's say I have, like, JM, if I gave you a client who says, hey, I have my website that is, my hosting service is about to end at the end of the month, and I need to be able to switch over to another hosting service. Now, that doesn't require anything to do with JavaScript or React or anything. This is something that you have to do with like other different platforms and tools. Like if you have GoDaddy, you have HostZinger, Bluehost, HostGator. These are some other skills that you have to be able to use that are not specifically just coding. Like, you know, I'm not making the Before the Billions website to show, hey, I know how to code. I already know how to code. I can tell them, hey, you can go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you guys. Here's a website I coded. Here's a website I helped to code for. Here's a website. Whenever it loads. So this is a website I helped to code for. And this is my old company. I helped them to my old company Randstad is a global staffing agency, and 2 years ago they acquired this company called Sella. It's another staffing agency that had, I think it was around like 20 something years. So the company Sella wanted to keep their identity regardless of them being acquired by Randstad. So what they did was they said, hey, we're still going to keep our Sella website, but then we're also going to integrate into Randstad. And as you can see, it says Sella by Randstad Digital, which is another project I worked on. But Sella had a lot of different data. It has petabytes of data that I had to help to integrate with Randstad's infrastructure. So they had a lot of information from different sources, but it came from Salesforce. And Salesforce, they had a whole bunch of different data in that database. And I needed to create all the connections from Sella and put it into Randstad, and they use GCP. So with GCP, there was no like direct connection to everything. I had to create jobs in order to move that data and that information from Salesforce into Google Cloud. And as you can see, 2 years later, my work is still being shown here. So this is something I would say, like in an interview to get another job. You know, I would you're using different platforms like Google Cloud or like Azure, Salesforce. Like these are just what businesses use. It just makes things faster, easier. It's a lot, like if I were to code all of the things that WordPress offers, I'll be spending forever trying to do all that, and it wouldn't be a good use of time. Right? It just wouldn't be a good use of it. It'd be like, okay, what's the point at that point? And then he says, way more control on your website when you code it yourself instead of relying on those platforms. Well, you know, I have a lot of control now. Well, I can't show it per se. I have a lot of control over my website. It's interesting because for WordPress, Joomla, and all these other WordPress and Wix, Shopify, you know, all those different website builders, you have the ability to update the files directly. So if you want to write JavaScript, you can. If you want to write CSS, you can. Like, I can show you right here, like if I wanted to write some HTML code, where is it? If I want to write some HTML code, I can write it right here. And then let's say, let's see, what do I want to say? Color. Can I do the white? But yeah, you write some like HTML code. And it can get, and actually, you know what? Let me see if I can just copy some stuff too. Let's see if I can create a I'm just gonna copy a quick form just for testing purposes. Alright, so let's see. If I wanted to create a form right quick, I can do that. And see, it creates a form for me. And then if I want to, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. This is from WP Schools, by the way. So if I wanted to like write some HTML code, I can write right there. HTML, JavaScript. And then you can create another form. And just create a submit button. It doesn't go anywhere, right? But you can write some code here, some CSS, some JavaScript, you know, within this. But it just integrates with a lot more things too. Cause think about it, like you had to like type all this stuff up. You see how long it would take? Like if I had to like type all this stuff up, but then if I just do this, I can just do, what is it, form? I can just create a form. And then this is a button right here. If I wanted to change the color of it. You see what I mean? Like, it's just the amount of time it would take for me to type that up versus just drag it right here. You save so much time. You save so much time, and then also I can show you guys this too. Let me show you guys some of the capabilities of WordPress. Marketplace. Let me just show you the marketplace. Marketplace plugins. . So this is really the benefit of using a platform like this, because there are so many different companies that have things that you could use to make things better. Like, let's say this, right? I want to improve my SEO. So instead of having to like research and try and figure out how to improve SEO, I can go here and check out Yoast, right? And then you can kind of go through. They have a whole bunch of reviews, right? Yoast is one. I use is Rank Math. So, and then, they all have support. They, you can keep your stuff updated without you having to go in there. There's so many more benefits to using this. Like, I can't even, like, for an actual website with a purpose, like, hey, I'm actually trying to do this for business. It makes no sense to really type it out by scratch, because you kind of miss out on a lot of these different tools that you can use. Like, yeah, it'd be cool. Oh, okay, yeah, you made a website, but it can still also get complex by doing this. If I wanted to migrate a tool, so the one that I use is it's called Vivid. Not that. I think it's called like WP Vivid or something like that. Yeah. So this one right here, this plugin can help you to back up your website. It can help you migrate from one hosting service to another. And it also gives you like a staging site. So that way, if you make any issues, you can go back and avoid making those same mistakes. And these things have been tested by, this is 500,000 people have used this platform or have used this specific plugin. There's a lot of people who use WordPress. It's just a lot. So as you can see, like, you can do easy backups, auto migration, create a staging site, schedule backups. There's a lot of things you can restore, and all you gotta do is like use a zip file. Makes total sense, man. But yeah, and then also there's another thing. Let me pull this up too. Most of the so it says that Fortune 500 companies, including Facebook, the New York Times, eBay, General Motors, and Time Magazine, are using WordPress to power their websites. Right? I think that Facebook, they started off with WordPress. They didn't just like code all this stuff. They used the platform. All right, let's see. Notable big name brands which are using WordPress: Sony, Meta, so Facebook, PlayStation, TechCrunch, Time Magazine. And I'm gonna tell you, like, there's so many of these Fortune 500 companies that are using it, because it makes it so much more easy for people who are technical to work with it, but then also it opens it up so that way people who are not as technical can still do things. Like, you still gonna have to be able to go into the database. Like, WordPress allows you to go into the database. You can go in and update the files manually. I showed that you can still write some HTML code if you wanted to. You can use React. If you know how to use React, you still can use React along with WordPress. Because these companies, they definitely use React for their website, but also they host everything and use WordPress. Another thing, like when you brought up Tailwind, they also use that. A lot of these big companies use these different technologies in addition to WordPress or these other platforms. It's very rare that you'll see a large company or a Fortune 500 company that doesn't use a website builder. Like I can't think of any website that doesn't use like a WordPress or Shopify or something like that. I can't think of a single one. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Ontario says, I'm currently working on my web app for a recruiting agency. I may need to get in contact with you. Yeah, man, you got my contact information on my YouTube channel. It's Before the Billions on all social media platforms. Just send me a message. Yeah, man, you know, I want to make sure I kind of go over this because I used to feel that same way too when it came to WordPress and other website builders until I started using them, and I realized, I was like, man, there's no way I could, as a single person, type up all the same things that will make a website work. Because another good thing about WordPress is that, so I'm right now what I'm using is a website builder called Elementor, and so this is the desktop view. But then what does it look like on the tablet? What does it look like on the mobile phone? You see how? So I wrote this HTML code right here, right? So this long block of HTML code, it's not really too long, but you know, like if I were to type that up, it would take me like probably 2 minutes or something like that to type it up. 2 to 3 minutes. But with this, I just dragged and dropped it. Changed the color of this. And then now it works for not only the desktop, but it also works for the tablet. And then it works for your mobile phone. You see how it transitions? See how it transitions, like it snatches in? So that's the one thing. That's the one thing I really like about using website builders, because you see how this HTML code, like it works. It doesn't look bad on mobile, but it doesn't look as good as it could be, and it would take me a lot of work to just do the same thing that you can do right here. Take a lot of work, and then also I got to keep up with different attributes and the names of stuff. And then if you do CSS, it can get to a point where it can mess up. All right, like you may overwrite the same ID or something like that, or the same class. You update the class, and then now all the buttons look a certain way. But then you may not want it to look like that. So now you need to go back and make some changes to specific classes or specific IDs. A lot more work. Alright, so... Oh, and then also the reason why this button looks this way is because I have this set up as default. have it set up that way as default. Anyway, let me go back to Calendly, the integration for that. And then, oh, see, I can go here and use my custom CSS. Where is it at? I can type it again. Short code. I can do that here. And then I can just copy this over. What is that? It says, where's the embed code? Oh, I gotta do share. Add to website. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. So it embedded my Calendly. Okay, cool. They're real simple and easy. I just need to share it with myself and then embed it. So I can get rid of this. Get rid of that form. And I can get rid of this form in that column. Maybe I can get rid of that whole section. So yeah. That's it. That's what I needed. I needed to set up a consultation. And I can save a draft of it. I gotta get the link. Well, I haven't made it live yet. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna save the draft for now. Okay, cool. As you can see, it's like it looks different. This is what it looks like on the iPad. This is what it looks like on the phone. a lot to do. Let's see what else I can do. I kind of want to get rid of this picture and then like replace it with something else. I'll make this whole center. Center. I'm gonna show you guys another let's see, where is it? Another service you guys can use. If you don't feel like creating your own icons, you can go to here, flat icon, or you can go here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Where did I put it? It's not on here. Font awesome. I'll put that in the chat actually. Font awesome is here. I've been using font awesome for many years. And flat icon. Those are some tools you can use. Get some icons if you want. As you can see, you can get brands. These are all free, well, mostly. And they do ask for a donation. But yeah. And I tend to like flat icon more than font awesome, to be honest, because there's so many, and then the search feature is way better. Like if I want to look up something like match, it gives me a match. But then let me go here actually on all icons, match. You see, it gives me so many more. Because they get things from different creators. So you can get icons, stickers, animated icons, interface icons like this. But yeah, like I want to find the perfect match, and you have like this like thing right here. What's another one? If I look up healthcare. See, it gives me some healthcare icons. And see, that's the biggest difference between flat icon and font awesome. I think that font awesome is like they make their own icons and there is no like community. But if I click on this, you can see that somebody named SRIP is the one that created it, and then they have 63,784 different resources. This is perfect for like small business owners to be able to use. Like this is some free game. If you want to get some free icons for your website, go to Flat Icon or Font Awesome. Perfect. And I'll show what Font Awesome has. See, like their icons is 33,612. I think that their icons, they tend to look better, but Flat Icon seems to be better to me. They give you SVGs, but you do have to, sign up for a pro membership. Okay, let's see. So these are some of the brands that Font Awesome has. But yeah, a lot of different brands. Alright guys, so I put up the Calendly link on my consultation page that I just created. In a short period of time, it didn't take me long. Just needed to look it up right quick to see, like, okay, that's how you embed. You just need to share. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully my rant didn't go on for too long. Talking about the difference between coding it yourself and using a platform. But yeah, man, I think overall this will be helpful to a lot of people, especially like people who don't want to like sit there and code all day. Like they have other things to do and other priorities and things that they're good at. You know, there's just neither what, and then even this may be a little bit too much for some people. Some people probably would think, okay, I got to put Calendly on my website. I have no clue how to do that, and then most people give up. But you know, you can. This would be a perfect type of situation or scenario to show people, to say, hey, it's actually easier than you think it is. It can get complex, but it is a lot easier than you think. If you just can spend the time to do your research, to read, learn how to solve the problems, and genuinely you can solve any problem. Well, I say there's a vast amount of things that you can solve with code or just through problem solving. So do your research. Don't get discouraged when you're having to solve problems. Just keep on going through. If you feel like you need to ask for help, ask for that help. So I think that may be it for me today. We've been going on for an hour, so I think that's pretty good. It's like the time is 1:40 right now in the morning, very early in the morning. So I think it may be that time to call it a night. All right, let me go back to myself and turn off the music. Hopefully you enjoy the music too. The music was about to end anyway. All right, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this impromptu live stream, this website work session. You used to call it late night work session, but I think I might stick with website work session. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I got some work done. I haven't gotten everything I wanted to, so that means I need to keep doing these working sessions with you guys. So with that being said, please go ahead and hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I make new videos on YouTube. Please do not forget to click the links in the description down below to check out the Before the Billions YouTube, the Before the Billions, I said it wrong, the Before the Billions website. See, that's how you know it's too late at night. I'm getting my outro wrong. Check out the Before the Billions website and join the newsletter so that way you can get the most updated inbox information that you can possible, the things that I'm doing in the world. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. Do not forget to build your billions. I appreciate y'all.